Linxin is an extremely popular bootleg company that made tons of different plushes over the years, and while their most popular plushes that they ever made were their Plants vs. Zombies plush sets. As well, they produced these plush sets for many years, around 6 years in total, and while in these 6 years they ended up making 16 different plush sets. And well, today we're going to be figuring out how many Plants vs. Zombies plushes that they made in total, starting off with their first ever Plants vs. Zombies plush set with the pea shooter. Now, the Linxin's original pea shooter actually has an insane amount of different designs, as well. It has its original release, its original medium release, and its original large release. As well, Linxin basically made sizes for every single one of their plushes, and while the large release of this plush is actually extremely rare, and well, this is one of the only images of it. And well, here's the first re-release of this plush, and it looks very similar to the original, and here's the second re-release, and well, the second re-release actually had a medium and also a large size. And while there's also a third and fourth release of this plush, meaning that there's a total of 9 different pea shooter plushes, which is actually a lot more than most people think, as well you wouldn't really think that there's this many different pea shooter plushes, well they're literally all the exact same, except they just have some small differences to them. And well, same thing with the sunflower, as well the original sunflower actually had a light face instead of having a darker face. And while the light face is actually much more rare, and well obviously we have the original release of the dark face, and we also have a medium size of that plush and also a large size of that plush. And while just like the pea shooter, a re-release of this plush does have a large size and a medium size as well, and there's 2 other releases of it. So yeah, once again, just like the pea shooter, there ends up being 9 sunflower plushes, which is once again just a lot more than you would actually think there are. And well, for the walnut, there's an original release, and there's also a medium size of the original release. And well, then there's a re-release, and also the second re-release once again has a small size, medium size, and a large size. As well, for whatever reason, it seems that the second re-releases of basically all of these plushes have big sizes of them, and the other re-releases just don't. I don't really know why the other re-releases don't have them, but the second ones always do have them. But yeah, there's also a third re-release and also a fourth re-release, meaning that there's a total of 8 different walnut plushes, and while for the kernel pulse, instead of just having a bunch of different releases, they actually have a few unique designs. As well, just like the other plushes, obviously, we have the original medium size, large size, and normal size, but we also have a few different textured versions. As well, we have the textureless kernel pull, which has a normal size, big size, and large size, and we also have a gold texture kernel pull, a shoe print kernel pull, and also a fence print kernel pull. And well, my favorite out of all of these definitely has to be the gold texture one, as well that one's by far the most unique, and it just looks really cool. And well, just like the pea shooter and sunflower, that ends up being 9 total kernel pull plushes. And well, next up we have the basic zombie, and well, this basic zombie plush by far has the most re-releases out of any other Linxin plush that was ever made. As well, it has this original release, then it has a black coat release, then we have a medium sized black coat release, and also a large sized black coat release. And while all these releases are literally just the normal zombie, except that it just has a black coat instead of having a brown one. And while we also have the second re-release, which has a large size, medium size, and normal size, then we have the third re-release, and also the fourth re-release. But that's not all, as well there's actually a whole nother variant to this plush, being this one with a small left eye. As well, for whatever reason, Linxin decided to make this variant, and well, just like the others, it has a small size, medium size, and a large size. And well, for the final plush from the first set, we have the hypnotized zombie with the small original, medium original, and the large original. And well, we also have the first re-release that also has a medium size and large size, which is actually pretty weird, as all the other plushes had a second re-release with the other sizes, but this one has the first re-release. And well, just like the others, we have a second re-release, third re-release, and fourth re-release, which ends up totaling to 9 total hypnotized zombie plushes, meaning that the basic zombie plush still has more than most of the other plushes ever had. As well, the basic zombie literally had 12 variants to it, and well, if you combine all 6 plushes and its variants in the set, you end up having 56 plushes. Meaning that this first ever Plants vs. Zombies plush that Linxin made is by far their biggest, as well it literally has 56 plushes. So now we're going to be moving on to the second Plants vs. Zombies plush that they made, starting off with the Cherry Bomb. Now here's the original Cherry Bomb plush, and once again, just like the others, it has a small size, medium size, and a large size. Then we have the second re-release, third re-release, and fourth re-release. And well, the first design Chomper is actually in this set, and well, unlike all the other plushes in this set, it actually doesn't have any re-releases of it. As well, since Chomper 1 was sort of just his own thing for a little while, and they just changed the variant of the Chomper a lot, they actually had no re-releases of this one. Which is why it's actually extremely rare and hard to find these plushes now, as well, since there's no re-releases of them, they're much harder to find than the others. But yeah, all there is just a normal size, medium size, and a large size. And well, next up we have the second design chopper, which actually has a few re-releases of it, but first we have the original, medium size, large size, and also the small size. We also have the first re-release, second re-release, and third re-release, and interestingly, we also have a yellow spike variant. As on the first design chopper, and also on the third design chopper, which we'll look at later, they both have yellow spikes. But interestingly, they decided to change the spikes to a white color on this plush, but still, for whatever reason, they released a few that actually had yellow spikes on them. And while the yellow spiked variant is by far the rarest out of all these, as well for whatever reason, it seems that barely any of them were ever made. Now next up we have the squash with a small size, medium size, and large size. Then we have the first re-release, the second re-release, and also the third re-release. And well, next up we have the jalapeno, and well, something really strange about this plush is that the large size and the medium size were actually released for a year before the small size was released. As well, for whatever reason, for the first year there was only a medium size and a large size and no small size. But after a year, I guess they decided to just make a small size of it, and they also made a re-release. Now next up we have the melon palm. Well, here's the original release, and well, the first re-release actually has a medium size and a large size. And well, here's the second re-release, third re-release, and fourth re-release. Once again, I don't really know why the original releases plush didn't have a medium size and a large size, and only the first ever re-release did, as well. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense. As well, a lot of the times, the way that Linxin released these plushes were just really strange. As well, they released them in just really weird orders and at really strange times. As well, there's a lot of plushes that only have a couple re-releases, while there's others that have over 5 re-releases. So yeah, Linxin just made their plushes in a really strange way. And well, next up we have the cattail with the original release with a medium size and a large size. Then we have the first re-release, second re-release, and also the third re-release. And well, next up we have the apple bomb, which is just a really strange one. Well, this character doesn't really exist at all in the Plants vs. Zombies franchise. So it's really strange that Linxin decided to make this plush, but the original release doesn't have any medium size or large size, but the first re-release actually does. Which once again just kind of shows you that Linxin just released their plushes in a really strange way. And well, we also have the second re-release, third re-release, and fourth re-release. And well, something that you'll start to notice about the last re-release of these plushes is that the stem was just a lot skinnier on the last re-release compared to the originals. As well, I don't really know why, but it seems that the newer the plushes got, the worse they were made for whatever reason, which is kind of strange, as well you would think that the originals are the lowest quality, as well the newest ones have the most time to improve, but for whatever reason, that's just not the case with Linxin. But yeah, that was their entire second Plants vs. Zombies plush, and there ended up being 46 total plushes. So even though there's more individual characters in the set, there's actually less plushes, as well their original set just had too many releases. And well, moving on to the next set that Linxin released, we have the tissue box holder set. As well, it'll actually be a while until we get to the third set, as well for whatever reason between the second set and the third set, they released a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. But yeah, there's literally only 2 plushes in this tissue box holder set, and it's one of the rarest, if not the rarest Linxin plush set that was ever made. As well, both the basic zombie and the hypnotized zombie tissue box holder is just extremely obscure and extremely rare. And well, next up we have their first ever keychain sets. Well, they actually made individual sets for the keychains. And well, starting off we have the pea shooter. Now strangely, this is the only plush in the entire set that only has 1 release of it. As well, almost every single plush in the entire set has 2 releases of it, while one other plush has 3 releases, but this is the only one that has 1 release. But yeah, either way, the only thing that they really changed about this plush is the actual shooter part, as well instead of just being a plush material, it's made out of an iron-on material. And well, next up we have the sunflower, and well, this has an original release and also a re-release, and well, same thing with the rest of the keychains. As well, on the left here's the original release, and on the right here's the re-release. As well, we have the cherry bomb, the walnut, the squash, the jalapeno, and well, interestingly on the jalapeno keychain, they didn't include the lily pad. And while for their kernel pole keychain, the original release was actually a textureless kernel pole, while the re-release was actually just a normal one. And well, next up we have the melon pole, which actually doesn't have a leaf base to it. And well, lastly we have the basic zombie, which actually has 3 releases of it. As well, here's the original release, then we have the re-release and the second re-release. So yeah, I don't really know why they had 3 separate releases of the basic zombie when they only had 2 of the others, also just 1 for pea shooter. But yeah, there ends up being a total of 18 different keychain plushes, which is actually a lot for the amount of characters in the set, mostly just because there's a lot of re-releases. Now next up we have the pillow set. Well, each character in the set only has 1 plush of it, being the pea shooter pillow, the sunflower pillow, the chomper pillow, which is actually based off of the original release of Chomper, not the second design. And well, we also have the squash, the jalapeno, the melon pole, the basic zombie, and the hypnotized zombie. And while by far the rarest plush in the entire set is the hypnotized zombie, as or for whatever reason, the majority of the pictures when you see this set, the hypnotized zombie is just missing. And I have no idea why that is, as though for whatever reason, it just seems that the hypnotized zombie is much more obscure than the rest of the set. But yeah, there ends up being 8 pillows in the entire set. Well, next up we have the Plants vs. Zombies throw pillows. And well, starting off we have the P-Shooter, and well, this is the only plush in the set that actually has 2 releases of it. Also, there's one design that has the P-Shooter head facing to the left, while the second design has the one facing to the right. And well, that's literally the only difference as well. Besides that one difference, the plush is literally just the exact same. And well, we also have a sunflower pillow and a basic zombie pillow, totaling up to 4 throw pillows. And well, honestly, I have no idea why they're called throw pillows, as well, they could literally just be called normal pillows, but I have no idea why they call them throw pillows instead of just being normal ones. Now, next up we have the Linxin Plants vs. Zombies phone holder, starting off with the P-Shooter, and well, it seems that almost all of the phone holders have at least 2 designs of them. As well, here's the original release, and there's also a release that actually came closed. As well, for whatever reason, Linxin decided to make some re-releases of the phone holders that are actually closed, which kind of ruins the whole point of the phone holder. As well, why would you want a phone holder that can't hold your phone? But yeah, either way, these are actually a lot harder to find, as well these ones actually have to be in much better condition. But yeah, we also have the Sunflower with the original release and also the sealed release, and interestingly, there's only one release of the Walnut. As well, for whatever reason, Walnut and the Zombie are the only plushes in this entire set that only has one release of them. But yeah, we also have 2 releases of the Squash, 2 releases of the Kernel Pole, 2 releases of the Melon Pole, and 1 release of the Basic Zombie, which ends up totaling 12 Plants vs. Zombies plush phone holder, which is actually a lot, considering the fact that phone holders are actually pretty obscure and probably weren't that popular. As well, honestly, who's going out of their way to find a phone holder plush besides nowadays, as well, since they're actually rare now, people want them. But yeah, at the time they were released, I can't imagine these sold really well at all. And well, next up we have the Plants vs. Zombies car strap pillows, and these are literally just the exact same as the normal Plants vs. Zombies plush pillows, except that they just have a car strap on the back of them. And well, once again, there's only one release of each of these plushes, being the Pea-Shooter, the Sunflower, the Cherry Bomb, the Walnut, the Melon Pole, and the Basic Zombie. And well, for whatever reason, there's actually no normal pillow variant to the Cherry Bomb or the Walnut, and the Walnut doesn't have any other variants, not even the next type of pillow that we're going to be looking at. So yeah, I don't really know why these 2 plushes didn't get normal pillows, they only got car strap pillows. And well, there ends up being 6 total car strap pillows, and well, they also have the hand warmer pillows. And well, once again, just like the car strap pillow, there's only one release of each of these hand warmer pillows, being the Pea-Shooter, the Sunflower, the Cherry Bomb, the Sunshroom, the Fume Shroom, the Squash, the Jalapeno, and the Zombie. So there ends up being 8 hand warmer pillows, and interestingly, once again, there's 2 exclusive plushes, being the Sunshroom and the Fume Shroom. And once again, I have no idea why these variants didn't just get normal pillows and only ever got hand warmer pillows. But yeah, now we're going to be moving on back to the actual main sets with set 3 of Linx's main Plants vs. Zombies plushes, starting off with the Snow Pea. Now for the Snow Pea, there's an original release with a medium size and a large size, and there's also a re-release and a second design of the re-release. And one of the set, they also released their 3rd design of the Chomper, and this was their final design of the Chomper as well, with the original release, and there's also a medium size and a large size of the original release. And well, for whatever reason, the medium size and the large size of the 3rd design of the Chomper are extremely rare and extremely hard to find. And well, there's also a re-release of the normal size and also a second re-release. And well, next up we have the Sunshroom with the original medium size, large size, and small size. Then we have a re-release, a second re-release, and a 3rd re-release. And well, strangely, it took until their 3rd set to actually release any plants from the night mode, as well there's actually only plants from the daytime and all the other worlds, where there's actually none from the nighttime levels. And strangely, there was actually a Sunshroom pillow and a Fume Shroom pillow before any other normal plushes. But yeah, for the Fume Shroom, it's basically the same thing as the Sunshroom, as well they have their original releases, and also the second re-release and the first re-release. And well, we also have a Split Pea in the set, and well, strangely, this is the only release of this design of the Split Pea. As well, there was a second design of the Split Pea that was released much later after this one, but for whatever reason, they only ever released one design of this one. And it's also extremely rare, as well, unlike the other plushes that have tons of different re-releases, this one only has one release, making it so much rarer than the others. But yeah, we also have the Blower of the original small design, medium size, and large size, and we also have a re-release and the second re-release. And well, for the final plush in the set, we have the Marigold, and well, surprisingly, there's actually 7 designs of the Marigold, which is the most of the entire set. As well, obviously, we have the original dark face Marigolds with a small size, the medium size, and the large size, and the rest of the designs all have light faces. As well, we have the original re-release, the second re-release, the 3rd re-release, and the 4th re-release. And while I have no idea why there's so many Marigold plushes, as well, out of all the plushes in the set, I would say that Marigold is probably the least significant. As well, just think about it, Marigold is a character that you never really use inside of Plants vs. Zombies, so it's really strange that it has so many plushes of that. But yeah, in their third set of main Plants vs. Zombies plushes, there ends up being 34 total plushes, which is less than their first two sets, but there's actually more in their next few sets. But before we get to their next main set, we also have another keychain set, which only has a few plushes this time. As well, each of these plushes only have one design of them, being the Snow Pea keychain, the Sunstream keychain, the Blover keychain, the Split Pea keychain, the Marigold keychain, the Hypnotized Zombie keychain. And while the Split Pea keychain is the only other release of this Split Pea design that Linxin ever made. And while out of all the keychains, once again, I have no idea why they kept making more Marigold plushes. And while something strange about the Hypnotized Zombie is that it's actually from the first set, instead of releasing it in their first keychain set, they just released it in their second, which I find pretty strange, as all the other plushes in the set actually come from Linxin's third set, while this one comes from the first one. But yeah, there ends up being 6 total keychains in this set. Now we're going to be moving on to Linxin's second biggest set that they ever made, being their set 4 Plants vs. Zombies plush set. And while starting off we have the cactus, as well we have 3 original releases, a re-release, the second re-release, and the third re-release. And while there's also a variant to the cactus that has white balls on the top of the head instead of having yellow. As of all the other releases of the cactus plush all had yellow balls, while this one has white balls for whatever reason. Well, this is a pretty exclusive release that's pretty rare. And well, next up we have the second design, the Split Pea plush, which has much more variants, as well we have the original small size and the original medium size, and we also have the much rarer original large size. As well, for whatever reason, compared to the medium size and the small size, the large size is just much more rare. But yeah, we also have 2 re-releases of this plush, and well, next up we have the Gold Magnet plush, which once again, just like the Split Pea, the large size is so much more rare than the medium size and the small size. Which once again, I have no idea why the large size is so rare compared to the 2 other variants. And well, we also have 2 re-releases, and we also have another release that has lime green leaves. As well, instead of the leaves being a dark green color like the rest of the Gold Magnet plushes, this one actually has a light green color, which actually makes it slightly more unique, so it counts as a brand new variant. Now, well, next up we have the Twin Sunflower, starting off with the original release of the Twin Sunflower, which once again has an extremely rare large size, but also the medium size is also extremely rare. As well, I've literally never seen a listing of the medium size or the large size of the Twin Sunflower plush. With all the other large sizes and medium sizes, I've at least seen one listing of them, but the Twin Sunflowers, I for whatever reason just never saw a listing of them before. But yeah, we also have the first re-release and also the second re-release. And well, next up we have the Garlic Angel, which is actually a plush based off of the fake Plants vs. Zombies 2 leak. So once again, just like the Apple Bomb, it's pretty strange that Linxin decided to make this plush. But either way, they made 5 releases of it, being the original releases, and we also have 2 re-releases. And well, next up we have the Bursa, which once again is from the fake Plants vs. Zombies 2 leak, and there's actually 7 releases of this one. As well, we have the 3 original releases, then we have the first re-release, the second re-release, the third re-release, and we also have a variant that has a green shooter instead of just having the normal black shooter. As well, for whatever reason, this one release of it just has a green color there instead of just having the normal black color, and I have no idea why they changed that, but it's just once again, just like the cactus, a really obscure variant. And while moving on to the zombies in this set, starting off with the Conehead zombie, we have 5 releases of it, being the original releases, and we also have the 2 re-releases. And well, next up we have the Newspaper zombie, which actually has an insane 7 variants of it, which is actually a lot more than you would expect from a newspaper zombie. As well, we have the original releases, the re-release, the black shirt release, and then we also have 2 releases that have big eyes. As well, we have the normal size of the one with big eyes, and also an extra large variant with the ones with the big eyes. So I don't really know why there's so many variants of a newspaper zombie, as well you wouldn't really expect for there to be that many variants of it. But yeah, next up we have the Duck Tube zombie with the 3 original releases, then we have the black shirt variant, and we also have a variant with light blue shorts. And while the light blue shorts variant is actually extremely rare, as well for whatever reason, it's just one of those really obscure variants that not a lot of people know about or even have. And well, for the final plush of this giant set, we have the Grass Skirt zombie with 5 releases, and well, once again, it's from the fake Plants vs. Zombies 2 leak. As well, there's actually 3 plushes from the set from that one leak. As well, these plushes were actually released right after the fake Plants vs. Zombies 2 leak, so that's most likely the reason why they made so many of these plushes. But yeah, we have the 3 original releases, then we have the re-release, and also the second re-release. And well, this plush actually has the same amount of plushes as the first set, as well they both have 56 plushes. Meaning that just between these 2 sets alone, there's actually a total of 112 plushes just from the first set and the fourth set. Which is actually just an insane amount of plushes just for one set, and well, there's still a lot more sets that we have to go over. But yeah, if you watched to this point of the video, comment down below your predictions, how many plushes you think there will be, and also please subscribe as well, it helps me out a ton. Now next up we have the Gargantuar. Well, something really strange about this plush is that it wasn't really released in any sets. As well, this plush was just sort of released miscellaneously with no other plushes attached to it, so yeah, it's just sort of its own thing. But yeah, the original releases of this plush are actually extremely rare now, as well they actually have red straps on them instead of just having the normal ones. And while it has a normal size and also a large size of the Gargantuar with this variant, and while they're both extremely rare. And while there's also a version with a thick strap instead of just having a normal one, then we just have the re-release of it, which is much more common and is by far the most well-known one. And well, once again, there's just a normal size and also a large size. So yeah, even though this plush isn't part of any set, there still ends up being 5 Gargantuar plushes. But moving on to the next plush set, we have the third keychain set. And while in this keychain set, just like the others, there's only one plush that actually has a re-release of it. So we have the Fume, the Cactus, the Gold Magnet, the Garlic Angel, the Bursa. And while we also have 2 releases of a Duck Tube Zombie, and we have the original Grass Skirt Zombie. So yeah, once again, it's pretty strange. There's actually 3 plushes in the set that actually come from the fake Plants vs. Zombies 2 leak. Which really just shows you that a lot of people actually thought this leak was real, as well, the companies were even making plushes of it. But yeah, the Duck Tube Zombie re-release is basically just the exact same as the original, except as you can tell, the head is just slightly bigger for whatever reason. And while in this keychain set, there ends up being a total of 8 plushes, and now we're going to be moving on to the 5th Linxin Plants vs. Zombies plush set, which actually has only a few plushes. As well as actually the smallest main set of Linxin Plants vs. Zombies plushes out of all the ones that they ended up releasing, part of the main set, not counting the ones like the pillow set obviously. As well, we have 2 releases of the Doom Shroom. On the left we have the original release, and on the right we have the re-release. And well, here's the original release of the Magnet Shroom, and we also have the re-release, the second re-release, and the third re-release. And well, honestly, I have no idea why there's so many re-releases. One Magnet Shroom plush is, well, they basically all look the exact same. And well, same thing with the Cabbage Pull as well. We have the original release, the second re-release, and also the first re-release. And well, we also have 3 releases of the Winter Melon as well. For whatever reason, they just made a ton of different re-releases for these plushes. As well, the only plush in this set that actually doesn't have a re-release of it is the original Guitar Zombie. And well, this one actually has the black hair, and it's a lot more rare than the second release that's actually in a different set. And well, it's literally the only plush in the entire set that only has 1 release of it, and there ends up being only 13 plushes in this entire set, which is the least amount of plushes in any main Linxin set, so yeah, this is actually really small compared to the others. But yeah, before we get to the last 2 main sets, we also have the last keychain set that Linxin ever made. And while this ended up being Linxin's rarest keychain set, well, all 3 plushes in the set only has 1 image of them. As well, we have the Conehead Zombie, the Newspaper Zombie, and also the Disco Zombie. As well, for whatever reason, the Conehead Zombie and the Newspaper Zombie keychains were only released in this one set, and there's not even any re-releases of them, and there's no other signs of them in any other set. And we also have this one-off Disco Zombie slash Dancing Zombie that's just really strange, as well, Linxin never made another plush similar to this one at all. As well, the only plush that sort of looks similar to this one is the Guitar Zombie, though the clothes and everything on this one is just a lot different than the Guitar Zombie, so it's most likely not based off of that. But yeah, all 3 of these plushes are extremely rare, and for the longest time, these were actually thought to be bootlegs, but it turns out that they're actually Linxin plushes. But yeah, this is also one of the smallest Linxin plush sets, as well there's literally only 3 plushes in the entire set. And while moving on to the 6th main set of Plants vs. Zombies plushes that they made, starting off with the Imitator. And while the majority of the plushes of the set only have 1 release of them, as well the Imitator and the Iceberg Lettuce only have 1 release, while the Bloomerang actually has 3. As well, we have the original Bloomerang, the dark blue top Bloomerang, and also the lime green Bloomerang. And while the lime green Bloomerang is actually the one that I have, and for whatever reason, it's the rarest one out of all of them, and it's also by far the strangest. As well, the second release just has a dark blue on it, which doesn't really look too bad, but for whatever reason, they also made a lime green release. And I honestly have no idea why they did that, but yeah, once again, it's just a really strange variant. And well, next up we have a Bong Choin. Well, this is the original release, and they also made a release that's fully dark green. And while I don't really know why they made a re-release that's a fully dark green color, as well, once again, it just looks really strange, just like the lime green Bloomerang. And well, we also have a Coconut Cannon, the Chili Bean, the Dancing Zombie, and well, this design is literally just the exact same as the original, except that it just has orange hair instead of black hair. And well, we also have the Mummy Buckethead Zombie, and we also have the Pirate Zombie, and there's actually a second release of this Pirate Zombie that just has a blue bandana instead of having a black bandana. And we also only have 1 release of the Cowboy Zombie, so there ends up only being 14 plushes in the entire set, once again being a pretty small set. And well, this is also the second to last Linxin Plants vs. Zombies plush set that they ever made before going out of business. As well, next up, we have the 7th Linxin Plants vs. Zombies plush set, and also the last one. And well, just like the last set that we looked at, basically every single plush of this entire set literally has one release of it, and well, the first plush in the set has the most releases of it, being the Potato Mine. And one thing that I find really strange is that this Potato Mine plush took forever to make. As though, since Potato Mine is one of the first plants you unlock in the entire game, I'm really surprised it took this long to make a plush of it. And it also doesn't really fit in with the rest of the set at all, as all the other plushes in the set are from Plants vs. Zombies 2 or Plants vs. Zombies 2 Chinese edition. So this is literally the only plush from Plants vs. Zombies 1, but either way, there's an original release, a second re-release, and also the first re-release. And well, we also have a Snapdragon plush, a Spring Bean, a Maroon Chili Bean, which is literally just the exact same as the other Chili Bean, except that it's just much more rare, and also a maroon color. And well, for whatever reason, in recent years, the Spring Bean also has become extremely rare, and I don't really know why. But yeah, we also have this really strange looking lightning reed that's, instead of being a normal white color, it's a blue color. We also have the Laser Bean, the Citron, the Fire Gourd, the Heavenly Peach, the Tactical Cuke, and well, we have two designs of the Bamboo Shoot. As well, both designs are literally just the exact same for the face and the body and everything, except that the dirt is just a different color. As well, we have the Dark Dirt release and also the Light Dirt release. And well, for whatever reason, the Light Dirt release is just slightly more rare than the Dark Dirt release for whatever reason. But yeah, just like the last set that we looked at, this one ends up totaling to 14 plushes. And well, there's actually only one more plush to talk about, being the Prototype Lily Pad. As well, this is actually the only prototype Plants vs. Zombies plush made by Linxin that we know about. As well, for whatever reason, Linxin just never released this plush. I don't really know why, as well, from the images that we have of it, it looks pretty good. But for whatever reason, Linxin just decided to scrap it, and it's literally the only prototype Linxin plush that we know about. But yeah, adding up every single Linxin Plants vs. Zombies plush from all the Plants vs. Zombies plush sets that they ever made, we end up getting a total of 313 Plants vs. Zombies plushes. But if we decide to include the Prototype Lily Pad plush, we end up getting 314 plushes. So it's either one of those numbers, so if you decide to include the Prototype Lily Pad, it's 314, but if you decide that you don't want to include it, it's 313. So yeah, Linxin's by far made the most Plants vs. Zombies plushes out of any other company that we looked at so far. Though there is one more company that may have made more plushes, but I'm going to make a video on them in a few weeks. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please like, subscribe, and comment down below out of all of these Linxin plushes, which is your favorite, and yeah, have a great day.